We're ready to kick it off. K3rryq and Fancy. EMB versus TNC. What a battle for the right to represent the Cowboys in January's club championship. It is Fancy starting off with the ball first. Let's get to know these players a little better. Starting off with K3rryq, 31 years old from Anaheim, California. The Bills runner-up in Madden 19, competed in the Cowboys club last year, TD. He wants that club title added to his name.
Yeah, he wants it bad. I've known Kerry a long time, and he's accomplished a lot, but the club championship has not been his best. He still has yet to win a club. Could today be his day?
Take a look at our item to watch. How about what he's going to have going on the offensive line? It's getting nasty down there with John Hanna and Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, we saw those a lot last year, but we haven't this year, but that really stands out to me. 2 nasty streaks in K3rryq's run-heavy offense. He's going to need those if he wants to dominate.
On the flip side, one of the young stars in the game of Madden, it is Fancy. Jacob Worthington, 21 years old from Dallas, Texas. Big Cowboys fan, graduated at the Star. Tiddy came on strong late last year and is making a name for himself in the Madden community.
Yeah, one of the biggest potential stars in our game. So much hype around the young man, and deservedly so. We'll see if he can put it all together here and get his first club championship.
Look at his MUT item to watch. How about trying to stop the run with the legend, Pat Willis?
Yeah, if you want to shut down Kerry's high-powered run attack, you're going to need this Patrick Willis out my way. Patrick Willis has been a legend in Madden for years now, so he's going to need it if you want to slow down K3rryq.
Fancy and Kerry ready to battle it out on the virtual gridiron. Hour number 2 of the NFC's club championships. Tiddy, how lucky are we to get a battle this, not only like this close, not only this, what I call coin flippy, but just between 2 absolute goons and guys who people are used to seeing playing online in all the tournaments.
Yeah, good point. I'm fired up for this matchup. This is a matchup we'd see usually in the finals, but oh wait, over a week ago, these guys did play in the finals of a Friday Night Football tournament, and Kerry got the best of Fancy, but it came down to the end. It was a crazy game. K3rryq, a veteran, Fancy trying to get that first big win on the live stage. Starting out on offense, you're going to see him, both guys in the Las Vegas Raiders playbook, but you're going to see Fancy. He is one of the best passers in the community. He uses great route combos, spacing. It's awesome to watch him play offensive John Madden football.
Let's start out in the trips tight end. Brett Favre at the helm, handoff to Reggie Bush. Great cutback there for Fancy and TD. Think of the offensive minds they've got over in that crew. Daycroft, J-Wall, Penguins, Fancy. These guys know how to draw up an offensive game plan. Oh,
man, they're so good at it. You see him quick snapping him here. Kerry not ready for it, but good defense.
How hard is it to defend the quick snap in Madden 21?
Oh, man, it's the worst. And, when you get up there a little bit in age, as my guy K3rryq is, it gets a little tougher to get those adjustments in on defense. So you're playing a young, hungry guy like Fancy. He might do that a little bit, try to catch Kerry off guard.
Someone feel free to clip that and send that to Kerry. TD calling him old. 3rd and 4. Favre. Waiting, and he's going to take a sack. Who else? Lawrence Taylor bringing down Brett Favre. 4th and 6. Decision time for Fancy. It looks like he's going to send the offense back on the field.
Great defense by Kerry. A coverage sack right there. Only rush it 2, and I do think Fancy's going to go for it. Looks like he's thinking about it, but he's so confident in his offensive game. 4th and 6. He's going to try to convert.
Another early 4th down opportunity. We just saw this in the Giants club. Now we're getting in the Cowboys club. Can K3rryq stand tall?
Yeah, he don't like that.
Timeout taken by Fancy. Didn't like what he saw.
3 points.
Yeah, he's going to think about it. Do you think it looks like he's still going to go for it, though? Didn't like what he saw. Needed some more time to think about it. 4th and 6. Let's see what he dials up. You got to expect some type of slant post combo, maybe a crossing route, corner route. You watch the tight end. I think he's one of the most important ingredients to Fancy's offense.
K3rryq McLaurin moves to the left side. 3-man rush, taking a shot. It's well covered by DRC. But McLaurin says, I don't care. You can't cover me. To the house for touchdown, Terry.
Such a close play right there. I thought Kerry was going to get the swat. I think he went for the pick.
I knew he
could have Fancy able to capitalize. Only about a yard of separation to McLaurin, but that's why you get that Terry McLaurin on your team. And he goes over the top for a big play to take the early 7-0 lead.
Not just a big play, Ty. Big play on 4th down.
One stop, baby.
How much better is it not only picking up the first down, but picking up a touchdown?
Yeah, that's a big-time dot right there by Fancy, man. It really is. 4th down, the momentum head towards K3ryq's way, but Fancy fires it in there over the top as we take a look at the replay. Just a little motion over route, and look at that, just by inches, and he's able to convert for the touchdown.
Boy, if Terry McLaurin can make those plays for the football team, Washington is in good hands. As what a throw, by the way. How many times have you seen that? I feel like that sort of throws a 50-50, whether it's caught by the offense or it's swatted away.
Yeah, I can't lie, Nick. And I'm not the offensive player as even close to what Fancy is, but I'm not throwing that. Man, that's a tight window. But Fancy, that just shows you the preparation, the confidence he has, knowing he can get that in there, and he converts it. Now we'll see what K3ryq has. Like I said, K3ryq in that Las Vegas Raiders offensive playbook, and we know K3ryq. We also call him K3ryq close. He's been running that deuce close under center formation for what seems like 10 years now. Every year you're going to see him be very run heavy. He's going to mix his formations. But K3ryq he's not the best passer, but he seems to get it done passing when he needs to.
EMP 1-0 on the night. Can they go to 2-0? K3ryq starts off. It's going to be,
oh my God, Ed Reed, thank you.
The former Penn State Nittany Lion, Saquon Barkley, taking the camera.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. And you see there, 4th different club in the last 4 years from K3ryq. So he's come close. You know, he's been a semifinalist multiple times. He's a runner-up in this tournament. He is a Cowboys fan, so can he finally get it done for his team?
Play action. Aaron McNair at quarterback. He'll throw this one away. How cool is it? By the way, these are some of my favorite games to watch here in the clubs, is when you have 2 actual fans of the teams going at it.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Awesome to see. These guys, diehard Cowboys fans. K3ryq running that Steve McNair quarterback. Hot route master, set feet lead. So he's not going to have that gunslinger on him, but he is going to be able to make some different route combos, play a little unique like he likes to.
McNair on 3rd and 9, laser to DK Metcalf. Great to see, by the way. One of my favorite parts about Ultimate Teams is the Ultimate Team format is seeing some of the greats in action. Seeing Aaron McNair at quarterback, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, seeing that DK Metcalf in the Cowboys jersey doesn't look too bad. You know, this receiver class here has been amazing in the NFL, but going back to the ground game now for K3ryq, a little power O. Nice run.
Picks up 9. It's kind of scary thinking about K3ryq with a passing offense. It just doesn't let you load up the box.
Yeah, you know, you don't think of K3ryq as a passer, but he does play pretty balanced. You're going to see him. He's going to switch his formations a lot. Now you see him coming out in the single back wing tight U. You're going to see deuce close. You're going to see I form. He's just trying to find any runs he can that will really get Fancy out of his game, but Fancy is going to be prepared for this run-heavy offense.
2nd down and 1. Go back to Barkley, right up the middle. And Saquon will find his way to the 44-yard line. 1st down for K3ryq as he crosses midfield.
Yeah, and you know, we've talked about it a million times, but stretch really toned down since that last patch. So right there, you see K3ryq going to a little power O out of single back, mixing in some different runs here. Coming out now in I form tight. I would expect another dive or power O here.
Back to Barkley. Even though he's getting tackled, he'll still pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, and we talked to Fancy. He told us, you know, if I stop the run, I feel good. I want to force him to pass the ball. And so far on this drive, K3ryq's looked pretty balanced. You know, he's getting it done both ways.
2nd and 8.
Okay.
Back to Barkley this time. Finally a big hit in the middle. Taylor Mays in the middle of the defense only picks up 1. 3rd and 7.
Taylor Mays, he just seems like an automatic hit stick there in the middle. We've seen so many times that hit stick. 3rd and 7 now. We'll see what K3ryq, he likes to kind of audible around from this wing flex close over to deuce close over to strong and weak. So I would expect a pass here. Looks like he's going to go the weak close flex.
One wide receiver out there on the outside is McLaurin. Metcalf in the middle. He'll throw it to McLaurin on the drag. He will not pick up the 1st down. He'll pick up 4. 4th and 3. Big play for K3rryq.
Yeah, good user right there by Fancy. He kind of took away the post over the top, and then he bit down on the drag really quickly. So K3rryq going to go for a long field goal, but he does have the wind on his side.
Conservative call. 54-yard field goal is up. It is good. 7-3. It's a very old school play from K3rryq, not going for it on 4th down, just taking his points, looking to play defense.
Yeah, K3rryq always confident in his defense. He's always pretty unique on defense. I remember one year, like a long time ago, he would have this thing where he would click on to his D lineman. He was able to blow up runs in the backfield that no one else was doing. So he's always pretty unique when it comes to defense. And he did say when we talked to him that he has some plans to run some stuff that Fancy maybe hasn't seen. You know, he watched some film on some guys that were shutting down Fancy with some defenses, so we'll see if he goes to that. Just kind of switch it up, make it difficult on Fancy because of how good a passer he is.
And Favre dropping back to pass. Waiting, look at left side, and another beam downfield to the 47-yard line. 2 of 3, 99 yards and a tutty already for Brett Favre.
Great patience right there. K3rryq has his zone depth slider at about 20, 25 yards, but Fancy waited, he got behind it, and he threw it in there.
Throw on the curl, that's McLaurin staying near the 1st down marker. And he will pick up that 1st down and quickly back out on the field. Fancy trying to stay in rhythm. Trips tight end. Vernon Davis on the right side of that line. He'll take this all the way down, and we will go to the 2nd quarter. This matchup has lived up to the hype. 7-3, Fancy with the lead early.
Some high IQ Madden going on. You know, that TNC crew, they're like the kings of throwing curl routes. You don't see it a lot. Curl route is pretty good here in Madden 21. He goes to it right there, that curl flat combo versus the zone. He got a big 1st down.
What a cutback.
No stick, no stick,
How
no
impressive
stick,
has
no stick.
Fancy's
What am I doing?
cutbacks been? He has them timed perfectly right.
Yeah, he does. His stick work looks good. K3rryq's kind of blowing it up. He's ready for it, but then Fancy will just do a nice little cutback, and he goes to the outside there, gets a nice 1st down.
Almost turns that inside zone into a counter run, just without the blocking.
Yep.
Favre.
Up top.
Taking the shot over
Up
the
top.
touchdown.
Up top.
K3rryq, his
Let's go,
2nd
man.
of the game.
One more stop. That's all we need.
Fancy
That's all we
takes
need
a
is one more
2-score
stop.
lead.
This game's over. Come on. Make him pass the football,
That is
please.
just beautiful
Make him
offense,
pass the
Nick. That is
football.
beautiful offense. So what he did right there, he has an elite route runner on a little S post. So he motions him,
It's gonna be
over,
two posts
so it
and an
turns
angle
into like
route, bro.
an outside route.
Come on.
And he just torches his man-to-man. So that was just a beautiful play right there by Fancy, just torching man-to-man to the outside, and he's able to convert. That was as easy as a touchdown as you can get.
It'll be a touchback. Let's take a look at that touchdown one more time, TD. Terry McLaurin, you see that little bend to the outside? Creates separation from one of the best in Deion Sanders.
Up top.
Yeah, that motion.
Let's go, man. One more stop. That's all we need. That's all we need is one more stop. This game's over.
And you see Fancy fired up, just needing one more stop. But yeah, that Terry McLaurin, great route runner, motions him over, destroys man-to-man, and just a really nice play right there by Fancy.
There goes LT,
God, good run,
LaDainian
Stick. That was a really good run,
Tomlinson.
Stick.
First time we've seen him
He
here in the
back
clubs. He'll pick up 17.
You know, Nick, 2 things I want to say about K3rryq that I love. I mean, first of all, this guy, he's never going to get out of his game. He's going to run the ball even if he's down 20. He's always been like that. And the second thing, he's always smiling. He never looks like he's really out of it. Like, you're always going to see a grin on K3rryq. He always thinks he's in the game.
Come here. Oh. Oh, that's so close.
Screamed at once again. 14-3. Fancy with the lead. Now the pressure on K3rryq to put a touchdown on the board. Answer the call.
Oh, we sniffing out the screen.
Pass.
You know we sniffing out the screen. Come on, man.
What a play call right there, Nick. He went with a single back slip screen. You don't see that really ever. I do like the slip screens this year out of shotgun, but he tried to sneak that in there, catching Fancy off guard, but Fancy was ready for it.
Listen, TD, I play in a CFM league with a lot of rules, where we have full custom playbooks.
Pick.
Even we don't run single backs.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, what a big end read! He's got it going the other way for Fancy.
Negative stick, bro.
A turnover.
Oh my God.
And Fancy in firm control right now.
And when we talked to Fancy, he said, what do I need to do? I need to make him pass the ball. He makes K3rryq pass the ball, and just a bad read by K3rryq. Honestly, a tip pick. Fancy up 11, and he's back in business.
K3rryq's still smiling. There's one of those TNC curls.
I told you, K3rryq he could be down by 30. He's still going to smile. That's what I love about K3rryq, but...
It's gone now.
Oh, man. But, yeah, Fancy in complete control here. Nice little curl route. Again, I would expect maybe an inside zone here. Just pick up the 1st down. K3rryq's ready for it. You see K3rryq lurking with that Taylor Mays.
There's the cutback
again,
again.
yeah.
Reggie Bush breaking tackles to the 30-yard line.
God. You don't have
You
an
got to
answer.
start calling Fancy
You
the
don't have an answer for
cutback
that.
machine. I mean, you hear him saying it. He doesn't have an answer for that because you see K3rryq. He's lining up his tailor maze kind of behind the D tackle on the right to blow up the inside zone. Fancy recognizes it, and he just cuts back. It's just beautiful stick work.
I suck.
Cutback once again. That's the first time he's been brought down after a short gain. I think it was his own tackle that brought him down.
Yeah, it looked good again. He just kind of ran into his own guy. Look for him to go back to the passing game here. A little curl route. He loves these curl routes, I'm telling you. A lot of curl flat combos.
Far to the flat. Reggie Bush well covered by K3rryq, and that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. 14-3, all Fancy right now, and he's in field goal range.
Yeah, if you're Fancy right here, you might want to use a little of this clock. I know it is third down, but if you can convert right here, look for him to try to use some clock. Wide open.
Far in the middle, wide open. There's that man again. Reggie Bush takes a hit, but he's down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, just great recognition right there. K3rryq really bit on like the corner route over from the tight end. The angle route came across the middle. That's all day. That's the easiest read Fancy will ever make. And now 7-yard line. Now, Nick, if you remember last week when they played in FNF, Fancy did struggle in the red zone. That was the reason that K3rryq was able to get the win. We'll see if Fancy can capitalize now.
How about a little stretch?
I
How about some solid
I'm the worst.
blocking?
I'm just the worst. This is why I pass the
Fancy
ball.
shout out. You know it's bad when you just shout out, "I suck."
Yeah, that's got to be a touchdown, though. He had the numbers. He had the space. K3rryq kind of gets a fluke tackle. Now, K3rryq out of timeout. So, honestly, though, if you're Fancy here, I would run the ball at least one more time. Get this clock down as much as possible. And you do want to get a touchdown, though. I will point that out. You don't want to kick a field goal necessarily because you want to go up those 3 possessions.
Minute 49 to go in the half. Fullback dive. TD, I gotta say, I mean, listen, I'm here in the booth. I'm not in any of these club finals, but I've been watching a lot of competitive Madden. It feels like fullback dive might be dead.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even think it's worth it anymore. He goes to the stretch now.
Fight, Reggie.
Falling forward.
Oh, my God.
Now, Nick, this is an interesting call here, and you see Fancy kind of thinking about it because a 2-possession game from a 3-possession game is a big difference. You know, 2-possession, you kick your field goal. It's the conservative approach, but it does give K3rryq a lot of life. If you can punch this in and go up 18 points, that really makes it super difficult for K3rryq, especially the way he plays offense. So if you're Fancy, I might think about trying to punch this in for the touchdown.
And come out at goal line, may take a timeout or a delay if he doesn't like the look. Fullback dive. K3rryq. He turned ball carry on aggressive, and if there's one person that's pretty good at bowling through the defense, it's Derrick Henry.
That's huge. That is
Derrick
huge.
Henry, the big dog. And you hear Fancy saying that is huge, and it is huge because now you go up 18. You put K3rryq in a huge deficit. Like you said, Nick, he went on aggressive ball carrier, and you just give it to the big man, and he punches it in. Great job by Fancy. Gutsy call, but the right call.
Ty, listen, and all the credit to Fancy for the game plan he has put together, but I don't think either of us had 21-3 in the first half.
I agree. I don't think all the viewers out there in the Twitch chat thought this. I don't think the Madden community thought this. Really, Fancy is outplaying him. I mean, he's looked prepared on defense. He's had an answer. And then on offense, I mean, K3rryq has like no prayer right now to stop him. So I'm super impressed. Fancy, you could tell, was hungry for this.
First down and 10. Can K3rryq put a needed touchdown, any sort of points on the board? Toss play. Saquon cuts inside. He's got some room. He's got past midfield. Dion's going to run him down, but a big play for K3rryq on the toss.
He's going to go hurry up, I think. Try to get another play off.
McNair. Throw this one away.
And see, Nick, this is what I was saying. K3rryq could be down a million. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's 40 seconds left in the half. He's down 18, and he still runs the ball. He goes with a toss play. So he's always going to stick to his game plan, and I love that about him. I don't know if it's the best strategy in that situation, but it paid off. He got a big play. And now I think he's going to – this is a tough spot here because I mean, kicking 3 is not great, but you need some points here. Look for him to maybe do a quick run, get down, and try to kick this field goal off.
2nd and 10.
Oh my God,
Oh, McNair gets absolutely blitzed. He had no time in the pocket whatsoever.
Such a smart strategy right there by Fancy. You come in with the turbo rush. If you can get a sack, the clock will run and you get him on a 4th down. But unfortunately, and luckily for K3rryq, he's able to get that off. Now K3rryq's got to cook something up. If I'm Fancy, I might bring the turbo rush again.
McNair. Across to Metcalf. I don't think he's going to get any points on this drive. 21-3, a mistake from K3rryq to end the half.
Terrible clock management right there by K3rryq. I mean, he was in a no-win situation. He threw it. It was 3rd down. He threw it inbounds, got down. You can't spike it, and you can't get time to kick your field goal. Just bad right there by K3rryq. Unfortunately, you can't make those mistakes in a high-level game like this.
Even a field goal would have got him within 2 scores. It will be K3rryq with the ball to start the 2nd half. But the 1st half, it's been like a nice dinner party. All Fancy. 21-3. The lead with 10 minutes to go. A reminder that the winner of the Cowboys Club Final, they're going to receive this custom crystal trophy from the Dallas Cowboys organization. Oh, will that be a nice piece to add to the collection? I might just carry that around with me, TD. I might just bring it to parties. Might just hang out. Just on phone conversations, might switch that to FaceTime, have that in the background. An impressive 1st half from Fancy. What can K3rryq do to get back in this game?
Man, well, that hurt him right there because I know it was only 3, but even if you get that field goal, then you're down 2 touchdowns instead of 18. So it would have been super critical. So bad clock management right there by K3rryq. There's still time here, but this is the biggest drive of the game. You got to get 7 right here.
And it's a toss play to Barkley. Found success the 1st time. He's finding success here. Leave it to K3rryq. Get the outside run going. I don't see anybody running tosses these days.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot. I think we saw Noah run it one time in the Patriots Club Championship, but he found something he likes. So I want to see him maybe go back to that a little bit more. Fancy doesn't have an answer for it right now.
Single back formation. As how about a toss to the right this time? Cuts it back inside with Barkley. And how about 7 yards? You can hear Fancy even up 21-3. He's baffled as to why this run play is working so well.
Yeah, he really is. K3rryq found something he likes. You got to keep going to it. You found the one thing that's really working. Keep pounding it. If you're Fancy, just keep holding him to under 10 yards. You know, make him use all this clock you can. Get him out of the 3rd quarter if possible.
K3rryq saying they got to fight.
Tackle.
To keep the fight going, goes back to LT.
Is that Ronnie slot?
Picking up a couple. 3rd and 2 for K3rryq.
Yeah, that power O has been in a bag for K3rryq. Fancy has that power O completely locked. K3rryq maybe go back to the toss, but eventually here he's going to have to cook up some dots on passing the ball.
Wing flex close. He'll run the stretch. Tries to cut it inside. Once again, good defense. 4th and 2. Fancy looking for another stop.
Yeah, you know, Fancy known for his offense, but man, as his defense showed up today, he is well prepared for K3rryq. Big play in the game now for K3rryq. You need 2 yards to stay in the ball game.
Danian Tomlinson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the left. McLaurin and Metcalf. It's going to be McNair dropping back to pass. Quick throw, low ball. And K3rryq's receiver didn't even go for it. Fancy with another stop.
Wow. That was really not a bad decision by K3rryq. You know, he tried to throw the quick pass. It does look like K3rryq's a little out of his game, like he was nervous for the turbo rush. He just tried to get it off. And it just a bad break, and Fancy just dominating this game.
Block.
TD. Still smiling.
I told you. Gotta love it, man. K3rryq always smiling. Down 18 in a $5,000 game, and you see the grin. Look at him. He's still grinning.
Wide set. Fancy. Utilizing all the time on the clock. Trying to get Reggie Bush going out of that trips tight end. He'll get stopped. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and this is where we talk about that next level advanced stuff. You know, Fancy really taking this clock down, hiking it at 1 on the play clock, getting this game clock down as much as possible. But he's going to go to the air here, try to get another 1st down, keep that clock moving.
Mostert in the inside slot. He'll throw it to the flat. It's Reggie Bush. She's got a first down. He's got to keep that clock moving. 8 of 9, a buck 81, and 2 touchdowns for Brett Favre.
That's big time right there by Fancy. You know, it doesn't look like much, but he recognized K3rryq bringing some heat. K3rryq kind of in desperation mode, got to bring some blitzing, and Fancy recognized it. Just throws a little table route to the backfield and converts. Just high-level stuff right there by young Fancy.
Brett Favre, of course, started 297 games in a row from 1992 to 2010. Listen, Favre was great, but at the end of the day, his durability was his greatest strength.
Yeah, Brett Favre, man. He was just an Iron Man out there on the gridiron, and he's looking good for Fancy, too, on the virtual gridiron. So, a little drag route right there. That play basically as good as a run. I mean, you basically did everything you wanted. Gonna take the clock down here. K3rryq has no answer though for Fancy. I mean, his efficiency has been through the roof. He's running the ball over him. It's been a rough day at the office for K3rryq.
But you couldn't tell that smile on his face. Looking over the top one more time. Ocho Cinco with the touchdown for Fancy. How about a 27 spot on the board?
Young Jacob Worthington, a.k.a. Fancy, he has showed up and showed out. 28-3. And he's on his way to becoming the Dallas Cowboys club champion.
Flood. It is a flood.
Saying it's a flood. Patriots fans saying 28-3. No big deal. This one more time. Just another dot dialed up by TNC's Fancy.
Yeah, you see that Chad Johnson, relatively new to Mutt, and it's just a crossing route. And K3rryq's biting down on an underneath route, which he kind of has to. He's in desperation mode, and Fancy just lobs it over the top. Easy touchdown. And, man, he really blew it open here. Fancy looking dominant.
Eric.
And you know, Ty, when you talk about what Fancy's been able to do, end of Madden 20 into Madden 21, really storming onto the scene, winning some big games, and listen, if you didn't know Fancy's name before, I think people are going to know him now, and he's going to be one of those sort of nice picks. As speaking of nice pick, Taylor Mays with a nice pick. He's going to be one of those picks for people looking for maybe a little bit of a sleeper to make their way through the clubs in January.
Yeah, I agree. And Nick, you probably know him better than anyone, being the busiest man in Madden. I mean, you're calling every tournament. You see Fancy making runs in all these online tournaments. His first real chance, as he does a nice little cutback again, but his first real chance here on the live stage, and boy, is he ever taking advantage of that.
I am the Brett Favre of Madden. Just setting records by just being here. Bush with the handoff. That'll take us to the fourth quarter. 4's up in the chat. Fancy in complete control, 28-3.
Yeah, 28-3. And, you know, watching Fancy studying his game this last year or so, you just knew that this kid was going to make a name on the scene. I mean, look at this. It's just, he can run, he can pass. I mean, just the way he plays offense especially, and then, you know, with his route combos, his spacing, his clock management. And then when you look at him on defense, especially how he's performed today, whoa, he's going to be a tough out in the final 32 in January.
Hey, you talk about K3rryq. He is not a conventional player. So scheming defensively for him may be the hardest part.
Great point. Great point. You know, there's a few guys in the community I put in that category. Guys like K3rryq, guys like Nini, who we saw, Eli, and then guys like Ivy Strafen. These guys just play so unique. They're very difficult to prepare for. But, man, with Fancy, he was very ready today for the challenge.
Damn scheming. I mean, those guys that just...
Yep.
You never know what to expect offensively, and Fancy has been up to task. Under 4 to go. As a Fancy leaning, I've never seen him lean back in his chair. Like, I feel like this is the most relaxed he's ever been playing a Madden game. As Bush gets to the 7-yard line, and I do feel like, Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, this feels like this is not an indictment on K3rryq as a player. This shows how good Fancy is.
Not at all, man. I personally, and I know most people do, have so much respect for K3rryq's game. I mean, year in and year out. We talked about Evilo earlier, but K3rryq's almost in that same conversation. He's been at the top year in and year out for almost 10 years now. But, yeah, this has really just been Fancy's day. He's here to show that, hey, I might be one of the top guys in the game, and I have a legitimate chance to win that $150,000 coming in January.
You got to think everybody in the NFC East who may match up with Fancy, because who knows what those matchups look like. They're based on the standings in that division. As the kick is up, it is good, 31-3. the NFC East, who knows who's going to finish in what order in that division. So I think everybody in the NFC East is looking at Fancy and going, I hope I don't play him first round.
Yeah, I agree, Nick. This NFC East is going to be stacked. And you know, I was talking to Henry, and he said his reason he picked the NFC East was because he thought it was the easiest division. But, man, it's looking a little different. We got Evil O, who's been there, done that. Now we have Fancy, an elite player. We have Ghost playing later on. And then we got Henry and Salty later. So I think this NFC East might be one of the best divisions that we're going to see come January.
2 more games to go today, folks. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Nick Mazesco, Tyler Davis, taking you through the action. It's LT with the carry to the 17-yard line. The carry for K3rryq has not been too good today.
No, it hasn't, man. And like I said about K3rryq, down 28, he's going to stick to his run game. We'll see if he goes to a pass here. Look for a little slant post combo.
Yeah, that was inaccurate. That is true. As we look at the past Cowboys club champion, this has been a very varied club for being one of the most recognizable teams. It's been a different champion every year since 2018.
Different champion every year. Maybe Fancy now saying, hey, I'm a guy to be reckoned with. I'm going to take control of this club. You know, I'll be surprised to see next year. I don't know if a lot of people will join this Cowboys club, seeing K3rryq and Fancy, 2 of the best players we have. It's a tough club, no doubt.
McNair on 4th and 8. The former Alcorn State Brave, Steve McNair, making throws. Rest in power to one of the legends.
Yeah, Steve McNair, man, grew up as one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. And you see K3rryq, he's just kind of freestyling there on that first down. Here he's sticking to the ground game. But it's just been domination. I mean, I think he's 5 for 13 now passing. 30 yards, 2 interceptions, and that's what Fancy said. Hey, look, if you force K3rryq to pass, I feel like I have a good chance to win, and that's exactly what he did.
I feel like this game would have been, I'm not sure it would have changed the outcome, but it would have at least looked differently had K3rryq found this toss in the first quarter versus late second, early third.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, tough 31-3. It's so blown open, but it would have gave him a better chance, especially on those first couple drives. It would have mixed it in. 4th and 9 here.
Oh no! It's all Fancy. Oh, Taylor Mays. He's gonna swag on him a little bit. He's into the end zone. Touchdown for Fancy. Non-stop dominance.
Swag on him, young man. Taylor Mays, pick 6 to the end zone. 38-3. I don't think anyone predicted this.
Let's go, man. It took me 4 years, bro. It took me 4 years.
What's your opinion on putting that touchdown on the board late? Is that bad etiquette? Is that, how about this? Don't throw a pick. Where does Tyler Davis fall on the spectrum?
Hey, man, I think he's just hungry for the moment. He came to show that he's here to stay, and he wants to blow him out as much as possible. Listen, you're here to play Madden. You're here to beat your opponent as bad as you can. It didn't make a difference regardless. He could have went down to 1. He could have scored. It really doesn't matter. You see K3rryq taking the knees here. A sign of respect for K3rryq. I know these guys both do have a lot of respect for each other. They talked about. But, man, 38-3.
Good game of K3rryq, man.
Fancy domination.
The GG's from Fancy. And he will be a club champion for the first time and will represent the Dallas Cowboys in January at the club championship. A dominant 38-3 win. Fancy takes down K3rryq